Hello everyone, Larry Satchwell here. 'Tis the season. I made a little prototype here out of oak of a recipe box. This is Haley's birthday present, but I'm going to batch out a couple because I don't know which one she's going to like. But I'm going to try to make 3 of these. This one being the prototype. It took me a little bit to, get it measured and everything. So I've got some in oak and some in maple. So I'm going to use my box jointer here. I learned from making the prototype that I needed a little extension out here because they just seem to tip over a little bit. So I made that extension. I have not set this up and the router is unplugged, but I think that's going to be perfect. I've got a few scraps here I'm going to test it on. So these 3 pieces of walnut are cut off from the larger box, and they will be a great way to test it. In my opinion, it's a little easier to keep this just a hair short on this test piece. And I'm talking about a very, very, very small fraction of an inch than it is to make it too tall, because then you've got waste. So I'm going to cut a couple of these blanks and see how it works. So as you can see, it really throws a lot of dust out. So I'm going to be setting my vacuum up right here, and this is going to catch like, I don't know, 80 to 95% of the dust. So you can't see what I'm doing, and I don't have a better way of setting up the camera. But you saw that procedure. You just follow the same procedure, making sure you have the tops going the right way and the bottoms going the right way. Really, really easy to mess up if you're me. You may not have that problem, but I messed up a couple of boards. I had the orientation wrong. I don't know if I was in a hurry or tired, but you've got to pay attention to what you're doing. So when I go to put them together, I'll show you that procedure. I think I'm ready for a glue up. I've got cawls on each side because when you squeeze this together, remember they're a little bit proud and you want to get tight corners. Rockler makes a fancy corner jig for this, but I don't have it. I've also put tape on the inside so I don't have to worry about squeeze out on the inside. So I've got A and B and top and top. One of the reasons this finger joint or box joints, people call them different things, one of the reasons they're so popular over time is that they are really strong because they have so much area for glue. So I've got some boxes that my parents had. Cheese boxes used to come with finger joints like this. So B, top and top, this should go together right here. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to do that all the way around. And that's great. Make sure it's flat on the table. Check for square again. Time to take the cawls off. This double-sided tape works super well. Here I have 80 grit, and I think it's 120. Yeah, 120 grit. And I need to flatten the top and the bottom here. They're virtually flat, except there's a little glue on them. But I'll just do that by, I like to go both directions and also switch it, so make sure I'm not putting pressure on one corner or the other. And then I just moved to the 120. This is on a piece of granite. And that is beautiful. All right, time to put a top and a bottom on here. I've got some highly figured walnut. Unfortunately, I had to build my younger brother an urn, and this is left over from that urn. It's a beautiful walnut, got a nice grain pattern in it, and I'm going to use that for the top and the bottom, so I just need to cut this to sides and glue them on. I like to glue one at a time, just to make sure I've got some overhang on every corner. It's just easier. And I've got some time because I'm going to build the next one out of this ambrosia maple. So I'll leave it on there for about an hour, and then I can take the clamps off and put the other bottom on. This is a 1/4 inch. It matches the same size as the fingers. But they're not. They're metal. My little screwdriver here is magnetized. But they're still easy to strip. So what I like to do is just get a little bit of paste wax here and just put a dab in each hole. Just give that screw a little bit extra lubrication so it goes in pretty easily. Wipe off the excess. And when my finger is gooey, I'll do it to the lid as well. I pre-stained these before I cut the lids off. That really helped. I didn't want to stain the inside because I didn't want to, well, it's a pain to do, and it's a pain to get right. But and the glue would show, any glue spill out. I find it easier to do the base first. And I always do the middle screw first. These hinges did not get very good reviews. And one of the things that happens is that I think these are either number 2 or number 3 screws. They are small, but they still don't go flush with the hinge because the hinge is just a stamped piece of metal. And unless you get these screws really set down there as far as possible, they hit each other. The design would be much better if they had offset the holes so that the screw heads, or make the middle thicker so the screw heads could actually sink into something. So the screwdriver fits really nicely over the edge here. So I find the center hole and can actually support the screwdriver on there. Well, Haley, here are the 3 boxes I've finished. Once you get this set up, you might as well make multiple. So I have an ambrosia maple, a walnut, and an oak. I hope that one of them meets your needs, and I hope that the recipes your aunts have given you will make some beautiful, delicious dishes. I'm sure they will. Your aunts wouldn't have given you those recipes if they didn't like them. So happy birthday. Sorry it's a little bit late. I'll try to do better next year. Happy birthday, Haley.